Forbidden immoral systems. These systems are actually prohibited under Ubuntu. It is forbidden. Number one, slavery. Slavery refers to the system in which individuals are considered legal property, bought, sold, and forced to work against their will. Historically, it has been associated with the ownership of people, often based on race, and has been a widespread institution throughout various periods and cultures. 2. Chattel slavery. Chattel slavery is a specific form of slavery where individuals are treated as property, bought, and sold like commodities. In this system, enslaved people are considered the personal belongings or chattel of their owners, with no inherent rights or autonomy. The term chattel refers to movable personal property, and in the context of slavery, it emphasizes the dehumanization nature of treating humans being as mere possessions. Colonization. Colonization involves establishing and maintaining colonies by a more powerful country over a less powerful territory or country. It involves economic, political, and cultural dominance, with the colonizing power exerting control over the indigenous populations and resources of the colonized region. Neocolonization. Neocolonization, also known as neocolonialism, refers to former colonial powers' continued economic and political influence over their former colonies or other less developed regions. It can manifest through economic exploitation, political interference, and cultural dominance without direct territorial control. Imperialism. Imperialism refers to a political and ideological approach that involves one nation exerting its power and influence over other regions and countries. It can be achieved through direct territorial acquisition or by gaining control over the economic and political aspects of those regions. Imperialism often involves the use of military force, political manipulation, or economic coercion to establish and maintain dominance. Imperialistic practices have been carried out in various forms, including colonialism. In this practice, a powerful nation establishes colonies in other territories, exploiting their resources and exerting control over their governance. Another form of imperialism is economic dominance, where powerful nations exert significant influence over the economies of weaker nations, often to the benefit of the imperialistic power. Apartheid means apartness in Afrikaans. Apartheid was a system of segregation that discriminated against non-whites in South Africa from 1948 to 1999. This discriminatory system was implemented politically, socially, and economically. The extreme racial segregation of apartheid included restrictions on where people of certain races could live or own land, what jobs they could hold, and who could and couldn't participate in government. Apartheid is a system that can be enforced in other parts of the world, not just South Africa. 7. Racism. Racism is a belief system that asserts that certain races are inherently superior or inferior to others. This belief can lead to discriminatory practices and policies based on race, perpetuating social, economic, and political inequalities. Sexism. Sexism is discrimination or prejudice based on someone's sex or gender. It can manifest in unequal treatment, opportunities, and expectations between individuals of different sexes. Sexism is often directed against women, but it can affect people of any gender. Classism. Classism is discrimination or prejudice based on social class. It involves treating individuals differently based on their socioeconomic status or perceived social class. Classism can manifest in various forms, including unequal access to education, employment opportunities, and social privileges based on one's economic status. Xenophobia. Xenophobia is the irrational fear, dislike, or prejudice against people from other countries or cultures. It often involves a negative and hostile attitude towards individuals who are perceived as foreign or different based on factors such as nationality, ethnicity, or cultural background. Xenophobia can manifest in various forms, including discriminatory practices, exclusionary policies, and even violence directed at those who are considered outsiders. It is a social phenomenon that can contribute to division, mistrust, and the marginalization of certain groups within a society. Addressing xenophobia requires promoting understanding, tolerance, and appreciation of diversity. 11. Systemic oppression. Systemic oppression refers to the institutionalized and perversive treatment, discrimination, and marginalization of particular groups of people based on their social identities. This form of oppression is deeply embedded in structures, policies, and practices of a society, and it operates systemically to disadvantage and disenfranchise specific communities. Systemic oppression can manifest along various axes, including race, gender, ethnicity, sexual orientation, religion, and socioeconomic status. Social identities refers to the various ways in which individuals categorize themselves and others within the broader social context. Personal characteristics, societal expectations, and cultural influences often shape these identities. Social identities encompass a range of factors including but not limited to race and ethnicity, the categorization based on physical characteristics, ancestry, cultural heritage, and shared history. B. Sex. The biological characteristics that categorize organisms as either male, female, or based on their reproductive anatomy and functions. Gender. Gender is a comprehensive concept that encompasses both biological and socio-cultural dimensions. Biologically, it refers to the physical and physiological attributes associated with being male or female. On the socio-culture side, gender includes the role, behaviors, expectations, and norms that societies construct around individuals based on their perceived or assigned gender. In modern day, gender goes beyond anatomy, exploring how societal and cultural factors shape our understanding and experience of being male, female, or other gender identities. Sexual orientation. An individual's romantic or sexual attraction to people of the same or different genders. Socioeconomic status. The economic and social position within society, often determined by factors such as income, education, and occupation. Religion. Belief, practices, and affiliations with religious traditions or spiritual beliefs. Age. The stage of life an individual is in, often categorized as child, adolescent, adult, or elderly. Ability/disability. The physical, cognitive, and sensory abilities and disabilities that influences in individuals' experiences. Nationality and citizenship. The legal and cultural ties to a specific nation or country. Language and communication. The languages spoken and how individuals communicate, including accents and dialects. Cultural background. The traditions, customs, and values of a particular cultural group. In the pursuit of a just and equitable world, the spirit of Ubuntu vehemently condemns and categorically forbids the immoral systems of slavery, colonization, and imperialism that have marred our shared history. The abhorrent practice of chattel slavery, where human beings are treated as property to be bought and sold, must be unequivocally rejected. Ubuntu stands against the exploitation dynamics of colonization, which have sown seeds of inequality and injustice across nations. The insidious grip of neo-colonization, perpetuating economic and political dominion, must be shattered. Apartheid, systemic oppression, and xenophobia are repugnant stains that breeds injustice, division, and untold suffering. These systems are fueled by fear and ignorance, and a betrayal of our shared commitment to human dignity, and undermines the principles of compassion, empathy, and solidarity that should bind us together. Moreover, Ubuntu adamantly denounces the poisonous roots of racism, sexism, classism, and other toxic isms that poisons the fabric of our societies. These divisive ideologies serve only to dehumanize, oppress, and perpetuate cycles of discrimination. We must unequivocally denounce these afflictions, working tirelessly to dismantle systemic oppression and foster societies where diversity is celebrated and the inherent worth of every individual, regardless of their origin, is recognized. Let us join hands to champion a future where every individual's dignity, right, and opportunity are revered and protected. Through collective commitment, let us usher in an era of true equality, justice, and human flourishing for all. Quote, intellectuals ought to study the past, not for the pleasure they find in so doing, but to derive lessons from it. This quote is by Sheikh Anta Diop.